Good morning and welcome to the Mayor's Weekly News Conference. For this week's agenda, we're excited to present a historic signing between the Erie Innovation District and the Waterford Institute of Technology located in Waterford, Ireland. We'll also announce a second visit of a ZEBO delegation coming in December, and we will issue a proclamation to the Model UN happening this weekend. And now I'll turn it over to the Mayor.
Good morning. Thanks, Renee, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. The focus of today's press conference, as Renee mentioned, will be on our two sister city relationships, and we're also going to focus on Gannon University's Model UN, which is coming this weekend. I'm very excited to have Carl Sanchek, President and CEO of the Erie Innovation District, here with us today. Carl is here to sign a memorandum of understanding between the Erie Innovation District and the Waterford Institute of Technology, which is located in Erie's sister city, Dungarvan, Ireland. I will be signing as a witness to the Memorandum of Understanding. The Waterford Institute of Technology currently ranks as one of the best universities in Ireland and educates more than 8,000 graduate and undergraduate students every year. Thanks to the technological efforts of here in Erie and the Waterford Institute, we are streaming this momentous occasion over 3,000 miles and 5-hour time difference. So good afternoon to our Irish sister city. Thanks for being with us today. I would like to note that this is the first time anything like this has been done in City of Erie government, so this is a historic occasion as well. Now I'd like to welcome Carl to the podium to explain what this means for the Erie Innovation District and the City of Erie. Then we'll have some remarks from our friends in Ireland, and that will be followed by the signing. Carl.
Well, let me start with good morning, good afternoon, and I guess good day to follow some trends in the past, right? Today we are excited to announce a groundbreaking partnership with the Waterford Institute of Technology. WIT is a university located in Waterford, Ireland, the county including Erie's sister city, Dungarvan, as noted by the mayor. As a host city, we are proud that WIT sought to collaborate with our Secure Erie Accelerator in sharing business innovations and startup growth between our cities and countries. In a moment, Erie Mayor Joe Schember and Waterford Mayor Councilor John Pratt will oversee the signing of a memorandum of understanding by and between Professor Willie Donnelly, President of WIT, and myself to formalize this partnership. However, before we get to that, I'd like to take a moment to thank our following guests for being with us here on site as well as virtually. From Erie, of course, Mayor Schember, Leanne Roberts from Mercyhurst University, our provost, Keith Kennedy, Senior Vice President Integrated Services at Erie Insurance, as well as a board member for EID, and from Waterford, Ireland, His Excellency, the Ambassador of Ireland, Mr. Dan Mulhall, thank you, the Mayor of Waterford, Councilor Pratt. From the Waterford Institute of Technology, we have President Willie Donnelly, the Vice President of Research, Dr. Mark White, the VP of Strategy, Dr. Richard Hayes, the Head of Industrial Services, Brian Foley. In addition, we have the ARC Labs Center Manager, Dr. Aisling O'Neill, as well as a representative from UPMC at the Senior Vice President level of International and Managing Director at Ireland, Mr. David Byrne. And last but not necessarily least, Mr. Billy Dugan, Director of Services for the Waterford Council. Thank you to all of you gentlemen on the screen and off the screen who are joining us today. I'd also like to recognize, because it's important as part of our making this successful, Capstone Impact Investments as our investment partner for the Secure Erie Accelerator, and Brian Foley alongside Dr. Mark White for bringing this concept together with us. Without their dedication and effort, we would not be talking here today and having this historic moment. Just to provide a brief description of this partnership, we're going to have a reciprocal sharing of facility space and associated support between the startups participating in EID here in Erie and the Waterford Institute incubators and accelerators. Potential for this partnerships between EID and Waterford's Institute Accelerator Program includes training, lectures, webinars, and other program content that leverages the knowledge base and value propositions of both of our organizations. In short, we're going to share faculty and content between our sites live for the institutes and startups that join us. The potential for our staff and the startup exchanges allows employees of EID and Waterford to discover and share best practices. All this will provide our innovation community a chance to learn from one of our best universities in Ireland, and it gives that same university an opportunity to learn from and see what we've built here in Erie. At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over, virtually speaking, to President Donnelly for a few remarks. Following this, we will host a quick signing of the MOU jointly, live for you today. President Donnelly.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Schember, and welcome to all our future colleagues and friends from Erie in the States. I'm just going to, before I say a few words, I'm just going to hand over to the ambassador to say a few words, since we're fortunate to have the Irish ambassador to the US here today.
Well, thank you very much, President Donnelly, and greetings to our friends in Erie. As ambassador to the United States, it's a very happy coincidence that I happen to be in Waterford today, giving a talk here at WIT and visiting the university and talking to the people here about the work that's being done in this wonderful institution here, which we're very proud of in my home city of Waterford. I have been in America now for 2 years as ambassador, and it's been a great privilege for me to travel all over the United States, and I believe that this partnership, which is the first one of its kind that I'm aware of, is exactly the kind of partnership I'm keen to encourage, because it involves a future-oriented relationship which is designed to benefit both communities, both the Erie Innovation District and the region here in Waterford and WIT at its heart. And it speaks volumes about the new relationship between Ireland and the United States, which results in 750 US companies with investments in Ireland, where they are servicing European markets from our country, embedded as we are within the European single market, but also the 500 plus Irish companies who are investing in the United States and who between them employ more than 100,000 Americans. And I see no reason why we shouldn't have companies from the Erie region operating here in Waterford, and companies from this region, the southeast of Ireland, operating and providing employment in the United States in the Erie region. And that's what we should be aiming for, because that's the kind of two-way relationship which will maintain the very positive atmosphere that exists between our two countries, that is built on the backs of millions and millions of Irish people who made that journey across the Atlantic in the 19th and 20th centuries and who've become part of the fabric of today's America. But it's also built on the backs of the various companies that have successfully operated in Ireland and the Irish companies who have prospered and thrived in the United States. And I'd like to see that taken forward. And I believe that this initiative between WIT and the Erie Innovation District is an important contribution looking to the future of an even deeper relationship, respecting and anchored in the relationships of the past, the links of kith and kin, but also looking forward to innovation and a future relationship between the Erie District and Waterford. Thank you very much for your participation in today's event. I'm delighted to be here, and I'll hand back to President Donnelly.
Okay, thank you, Ambassador. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to visit Erie when our delegation went over, but we'll soon rectify that. I'll definitely come on the next visit. It struck me when I looked up your location, since I wasn't there, and your history, how similar the history of Erie and Waterford is. For instance, Erie is the fourth largest city in Pennsylvania. Waterford used to be, when I grew up, the fourth largest city in Ireland. We were slightly overtaken, but we intend to get back there. Water is important to both of us. You are on the lake. The length of the lake is actually twice the length between ourselves and the UK. So while we're on the sea, we both have water as an important part of our environment. But also, most importantly, we have a history as industrial cities. And we all know that the evolution of the economy and the impact of the downturn in the industrial economies and in the old industrial companies have impacted both cities. And both cities have been challenged to renew themselves and renew themselves in a way that they become drivers for the new knowledge economy. And in Waterford, and why I think this relationship is so important, when Waterford hit the lowest point with the closing of its world-famous Waterford Crystal Centre, the sentiment in Waterford was that this was a day that we would never find a way out of, a day when those industries that we relied on were no longer there. But we found that through concentrating on innovation, on incubation, through focusing on developing new services and new industries in Waterford that were more sustainable because they were part of the new knowledge economy, that this was the way forward for Waterford. And at the heart of that is people, and people who are entrepreneurs. And our focus very much was about creating an environment that could allow entrepreneurs to focus on what they do best, which is create economic opportunities. And our incubation centres have been hugely successful in that. And we see this as the next stage in the evolution of that model. So Waterford now is seeing a new light, a new future based on high-tech economy, on high-value industry and high-value employment. We see that connectivity between ourselves and yourselves, creating an environment that supports the flow of people and knowledge between our two centres, providing that environment that allows entrepreneurs to thrive and for economic development to increase. It has huge benefit for Waterford and for Erie. So it's an exciting collaboration that we're looking forward to seeing the fruits of that for both cities. Thank you very much. What I would like to do now, because, and thank you for listing all the people who are here in the room, it saved me from going through the names. I want to actually guarantee you that all these people are here, so I'm going to ask them to come behind me, and hopefully you can see them.
Thank you very much.
Can you?
I think we're ready to sign here if you are there.
Yeah?
And I'd
Yeah.
like to note that the mayor provided me with a city pen. Please note the color.
It is green.
It is great.
So, we ready?
Yes, we are ready. We're ready.
You're probably slightly ahead of me, but
That's all right.
you still get there together.
That's right.
Okay.
You're allowed to stay in the first one, then I'll watch it.
Go right.
Hold the pen, please, right?
Thank you.
I want to thank you very much. This is very, very exciting for us here. I can tell you that my grandfather came over from Ireland. My mother's maiden name is Flatley, and we might be related to Michael Flatley. I've never really researched that, but I know that we came over from Ireland, and I too look forward, just as you do, I look forward to coming over and visiting your city and spending some time with you. It's very exciting. I agree that our futures, I think, are very similar. Our backgrounds are similar, our locations and our futures are similar too, and I think we can help each other make very successful futures together. I look forward to doing that. I look forward to seeing a very active flow of people and ideas going back and forth between Erie and Waterford. And by the way, there's a little township about 15 miles south of Erie called Waterford, Pennsylvania. So we'll have to show you that when you come here as well. That'd be great. You'll be most welcome, and we'll roll the red carpet out when you come. So thanks very much again to the Erie Innovation District and the Institute. We really appreciate everything here and look forward to building our relationship together.
Would you mind just standing still? We're going to take a photograph, and hopefully the photograph will show us all together.
Okay. So let's see. This way, this way. Yeah. Who else? Anybody else we should get up here?
Jordan and Rebecca.
Jordan and Rebecca. We're getting a couple more up here, so hang on a second.
Give us one moment. And bring the whole team.
Which side? Oh, this side.
Sure thing.
Rebecca, you can come a little in front of me.
So everybody, I guess, look at the TV because that's what they're going to do. You let me know when you're good. I think I got it.
I'd just like to say that is the first time ever I did a photo shoot that has been in Philo cases.
Yes.
First for us as well.
Absolutely. Across the Atlantic Ocean. Yes.
And I'm pretty sure my team wants to come over and visit you personally.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. So again, thanks again. That's good to see you. So I look forward to really continuing to develop this relationship. Next, we're also, we're going to move on, so thanks very much.
We're going to end the call now.
Unless they're, I think they're done. Okay. We're also very excited to announce today that a ZEBO delegation of 7 will be returning to Erie December 11th and 12th. This delegation lands in Erie on Wednesday, December 11th, a little after 11 in the morning, and will depart Thursday the 12th, about 6 in the evening. Dr. Lee Tao and Ethan Yang were here about a month ago. You may remember them. They're going to return along with 5 additional ZEBO dignitaries, and I'll give you a little background on the people coming. Dr. Lee Tao is a professor and doctoral supervisor at Shandong University. He's also director of the spine surgery and the Center for Translational Medicine and deputy president of ZEBO Central Hospital. Ethan Yang is a contact person for ZEBO Health Commission and ZEBO Central Hospital. Ethan is also the deputy director of the International Medical Department. Now, coming with the two of them are these 5 people. Mr. Liu Yushin is the Director of Foreign Affairs of ZEBO Municipal People's Government. We spent a lot of time with Mr. Liu when we were in China back in April visiting our sister city. He kind of guided us on all our tours over the 5 days we were there. Also coming is Ms. Meng Ying Ling, is the Deputy Director of the ZEBO Municipal Commission. Mr. Zhao Hongtao is President of ZEBO Central Hospital, which we visited when we were in ZEBO. Mr. Li Kuifang is president and principal of ZEBO Cheyenne High School, which we toured when we were in ZEBO last April. And Ms. Han Lin is the section chief, Foreign Affairs of ZEBO Municipal People's Government. Han Lin also worked hard arranging all of our visits when we were there and spent a lot of time with us during our visit to ZEBO. It will be a very quick trip, obviously, while they're here, but they hope to accomplish a lot, and we're exchanging information right now to accomplish that. They actually have 9 goals they'd like to accomplish. First is to sign a memorandum of understanding between ZEBO Cheyenne High School and Mercyhurst Prep. Second, sign a sister city hospital agreement between ZEBO Central Hospital and Allegheny Health Network St. Vincent's. Third is to renew the sister hospital relationship between ZEBO Central Hospital and UPMC Hammett. Fourth is to sign a strategic cooperation memorandum between Zibo Central Hospital and LECOM. Fifth, talk about a care training program with Edinburgh University. Sixth, draft a 2020 communication plan between our two cities. Seventh, work out a memorandum of understanding for a youth exchange between our two cities. Eighth, have site visits and discussions regarding potential locations for a Chinatown in the city of Erie, which would provide for medical tourism for Chinese to come here. It also would be an attraction for people to come and see. And ninth, they also will entertain any proposals or agreements for any other types of potential partnerships. So we're in the process of preparing for their arrival. I can tell you my staff, particularly Renee Lamus, are working very hard trying to do that right now. We are trying to keep the momentum going, and we look forward to signing several mutually beneficial agreements over the next few months. Next on our agenda, the 67th session of the Gannon University Model United Nations will convene this Friday and Saturday, November 8th and 9th. I'd like to invite Secretary General Mr. Randall W. Suter and Dr. Anjay Sahai, who is the Associate Professor of Political Science Program and the Program Director for the Model UN, to the podium to tell us more about the Model UN. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Randall Sutter, and as Mayor Schember said, I am the 67th Secretary General of Gannon's Model United Nations. This weekend we will see over 400 students from across the tri-state area from over 15 schools attend our conference to debate issues from nuclear weapons to mental health regulations and rights of prisoners globally. The vulnerable populations of pre-colonial natives, stateless people, and rural persons, as well as the role of illegal non-state actors. Our Security Council will focus on terrorism and religious persecution in Africa, while our Historical Security Council will take a look at 1991 and see if there was a different scenario that could have played out in the world. We also have two brand new committees this year that are my personal brainchildren of the Nuremberg trials, where students will be looking at just what it means to be considered a crime against humanity, while we have our Arab League looking at the complexities of the Palestinian and Israeli problem. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of the 2019 Gannon Secretariat and our Model United Nations team for the opportunity to come here today. Thank you.
In addition to everything Randall said, I'm really excited that Gannon students have been working so hard. At our end, we have about 40 to 50 Gannon students who will be involved in this weekend's work. And there have been some exciting changes at Gannon as well with the Model UN program. We have new club advisors, and this is the 10th year that I've been running this, and so we are really excited for an upcoming weekend. Despite the weather, we are really excited about it, and we hope the schools have a great time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay here one more minute if you would.
She needs a pen.
One more thing I need to do before we move on, and that is I'd like to share with both of you a proclamation that we've written proclaiming November 8th and 9th as Model United Nations Day here in the city of Erie. Is that okay?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So whereas the 67th Annual Congregation of the Gannon University Model United Nations will convene November 8th and 9th, 2019, that makes this the longest consecutively running Model United Nations anywhere in the United States. Whereas Gannon University's Model UN will bring together more than 700 delegates from approximately 50 high schools in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and New York, bringing them to the city of Erie. Whereas sponsored by the Gannon University Political Science Department, Model UN is designed to help students more thoroughly understand the complex problems of international affairs, as well as the purpose and function of the United Nations. Whereas delegates for the Model UN come together to exchange ideas, information, and contribute their time to research global issues and international options, regulations, and procedures for the United Nations. Whereas the problem selected for discussion this year's conference is addressing the social and economic consequences of religious intolerance. Now therefore, I, Joseph V. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, hereby proclaim November 8th and 9th, 2019, as Model United Nations Weekend in Erie, as this opportunity provides important experience and training for tomorrow's future leaders. So thank you very much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks for everything you do. Okay. So the last thing I always do at our press conferences, at least for the last few months here, has been alert report. But we are coming to the end of the building season. And I'm a little sad to announce today that for the first time in 18 weeks, we've had no LERTA applications submitted. So no new LERTA applications in the last 5 weeks. So as of yesterday, we're still at 70 LERTA applications with a total investment of $21,575,635. So we'll see how it goes, but I really expect that through the holidays and probably into early 2020, we'll see few LERTA applications, because right now the planners or developers are kind of working on their plans, and I expect that to continue. But applications probably won't be submitted till closer to the beginning of the next building season, next spring. So for the next several weeks, I'll only bring LERTA into the press conferences if there are new applications to report. So that does conclude today's press conference. Thanks everyone for being here, and everyone who's, what? Okay, so we're going to go from here to raise the flag. But that ends the press conference, right? Thank you. And we'll be going from here to raise the flag outside, the United Nations flag, right? Excellent. Thanks very much. Thanks everyone for being here. Everyone who spoke is available for interviews if you want to catch them before we go raise the flag. Thanks much.